The moment you've all been waiting for. What does this guy think of the Micah Parsons trade? And plus, we start our Jets prediction series here for 2025 ahead of week one. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Leston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to a very unique version of Boy Green Daily, and it'll be that way the next couple of days. Again, you already see my co-host. I don't have to click any buttons. Boop! He's here right now. It's Hop on Pop, baby. And we'll be together for the next couple of shows. Pop, dare I ask, how are you doing?
Hey now, what's it going on?
Okay, this is so I've received a lot of questions, obviously, with your dual fandom of New York Jets and Dallas Cowboys, and of course our tailgate just got a little spicier. Week 5, Jets Cowboys, Sunday, October 5th. So this is what everyone's sort of been waiting for. It's going to be very confusing for anyone doing a drive-by, click on this, going, wait a second, what's this Jets show doing talking about Micah Parsons? But there are direct Jets ties here coming up for a Week 5 game. But Pop, the floor is yours for your opportunity here to let us know what the hell is going on here.
Well, we're not going to take too much time with this, but I would offer to everyone that if you remember, this is exactly the trade that I asked for.
Yes.
Exactly the trade I asked for. So I said it had to take 2 first-round draft picks and a quality player of need for the Cowboys. As far as that goes, slam dunk. 3-time Pro Bowler, stuffing the run up the middle, exactly what the Cowboys needed. Perfect. 2 first-round draft picks, perfect. So across the board, write it down. Big win for the Cowboys. Across the board, big win.
All right, so I'm going to just play devil's advocate here and press a few buttons, and then you respond as you wish. Some people out in the audience would say that, sure, 2 future first-round draft choices is pretty cool. It's only happened a handful of times in NFL history. Shout out to Joe Douglas, wherever you are. Jamal Adams, the gift that keeps on giving, of course. But no, specifically, that is very valuable. However, what a lot of people say is this Green Bay Packers organization is incredibly stable, and they've been really good for like 30 years. So these first-round picks, in a best-case scenario, are late teens, but more likely in the 20s is what some people say. And those are among, obviously, the most valuable commodities you guys obviously received in this trade. What is your response to that?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Who's going to give up? Who want the player of value? I would offer a few things. I agree. It's going to be high teens, 20s. I would offer that Green Bay is in the toughest division in football.
I concur.
They were the, I don't think there's been in the new playoff format, there's been a division that's had all 3 of the wild cards, but if there was one, they could be it. And so with that being said, that's a lot of losses, right? Minnesota, there's a lot of questions over there now, but I will tell you that the NFC North is a tough division, and I expect it to be 19-21 is what the picks are. The Green Bay, their chances of making it to Super Bowl are low. So I expect 18-20s, and even that's fine, right? This is exactly like the Herschel Walker trade. They're going to take those first-round picks and partner it with their own, trade up, get the best player available, or if it shakes out to what they want, they'll take 2 first-round draft picks. So I think it's exciting. And yes, it's, they didn't get the, Cleveland Browns trade, but they did get 2 first-round picks, and again, a player of phenomenal value.
That player you're talking about is Kenny Clark, who is no stiff. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler and everything else in between. Guys, by the way, I want you to like the video, hit subscribe. Also, keep your questions and comments flowing. We'll try to get some of those up on the show throughout today's program happening here, so appreciate it. But yes, Kenny Clark is no stiff. He is a player that helps. Let's go to what Jerry Jones said at his press conference, Pop, and that so let me go first to this. NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero reported that over the course of last offseason, the Cowboys internally discussed what a Micah Parsons trade would look like in terms of, like, should we do it, the cap savings that could exist here, the assets you could receive, the Herschel Walker thing that Jerry Jones even referenced during his press conference, and those sorts of things. And then a few weeks ago, after Micah Parsons requested a trade on August 1st, the Cowboys, according to Jerry Jones, went through the entire league and combed it and said, all right, there's only 2 things basically that have to be on any team that we're talking to. One, they obviously have to have enough cap space to even sign Micah Parsons. If not, then it doesn't matter. Put that aside. And then who has the best interior defensive lineman in the league that would make a significant difference for us right now. And he said he combed through. Now, Jerry, I believe I watched that full presser. He did not reveal the amount of teams that ultimately, once they made those checks, it came down to. But he did seem to indicate there were multiple teams involved here with that process. So that's how they sort of eliminated it to get to ultimately here Packers Kenny Clark. And let's go to that layer, Pop, because a lot of people are like, trading him inside the conference to the Green Bay Packers. The Packers and Cowboys have a very checkered history of big moments. Dez Bryant, did he catch it? The Aaron Rodgers, Jaron Cook game. The eliminating the Cowboys are really causing what a lot of these ripple effects are now, where Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn, and how a lot of that turned out from that blowout playoff loss where they were one and done. That was all with Green Bay. So to turn around and give Green Bay this transcendent talent, a lot of people on the outside have eyebrows raised.
Yeah, I have no concerns trading inside the conference. They're going to play them, a few more times more often. But in the end, let's go to that Green Bay Cowboys game, in that playoff game. Your best players show up in the brightest lights in the biggest moments. Micah Parsons had 2 tackles in that Green Bay game, and the Cowboys got blown off the line in the running game. Micah Parsons, phenomenal edge rusher. You don't want him chasing you down from behind. You run right at him, and you're going to run right over him. He's a little light in the loafers. And again, I'm not taking away from Micah Parsons. He is an amazing player. He is one of the best defensive players in the NFL, but he's not a phenomenal run stopper. What was causing the Cowboys, what has caused them pain and suffering over the past years is an inability to stop the run. And go back to the blowout that nobody saw coming. It was a reverse blowout from last season. I think it was week 2 against the Saints, right, who won 5 games last year. They blew the doors off the Cowboys because they ran the ball right at Micah Parsons. Again, he showed up and showed out with 2 tackles that game. So that is a strategy. If you have the power and the ability to run right at Parsons, you are going to be successful. Again, it's not he has a place and a role, but he's not a leader in the locker room. He demonstrated some gaps in character over this recent things. And so I wish him well. He did good things for the Cowboys, but it's time for him to move on. I would like to clarify one thing about people have said about, if he had stayed with the Cowboys and held out, do you hold Emmitt Smith to that same standard? I want to make something very, very clear. That's a good question. Very, very clear to everybody.
Yeah.
Emmitt Smith did nothing like Micah Parsons. Nothing. Emmitt Smith, when he held out those games, was not under contract. He was a free agent. He didn't have a piece of paper with his name on it that he was committed to the team. He didn't show up because he was a restricted free agent, which was a different thing back in the day. He was restricted. He was a restricted free agent.
Yeah.
Where which means if at the time someone offered him a contract, the Cowboys had within 30 days, the Cowboys could always match it. But he was not under contract when he missed those 2 games. He was not holding out. They are not the same. And I'll tell you the crazy fact about Emmitt Smith is no team in the NFL, they probably look back on it now and go, no team offered Emmitt Smith a contract. Just wrap your head around that phenomenal fact that the leading rusher of all time in the NFL coming off 1,000-yard seasons, no one would have offered him a contract.
Well, he ended up being the leading rusher. Obviously, in 92, he had only been in the league, whatever that is, 3 seasons, 2 seasons, something like that?
3 or 4.
Okay. But still, so
he ended up being.
Well,
and after 2 games, he ended up that year being the NFL's leading rusher and the MVP of the league and the Super Bowl.
Well, sure. I think I don't know if this existed back then of the same concerns. Lamar Jackson, who ended up winning more MVPs, he was this essentially a restricted free agent. He had a special franchise tag that you were allowed to negotiate with him, and teams were afraid to negotiate because they said, "Wait a second, we sit down with Lamar, we figure out the perfect deal." The Ravens just matched that deal. We did all the work for them. So that's one of the concerns there. I'm not sure if that would have been the concern for the Dallas Cowboys or one of those other teams that are coming in there from that perspective. Let me just boil it down to a very simple thing here. And this is something Rich Eisen could not stop repeating himself on the Friday show that they just had. You don't trade franchise-altering young pass rushers that have had a minimum of 12 sacks every season they've been in the league, have been a Pro Bowler in every season of the league, for, as he calls it, a 30-year-old defensive tackle. Now, Kenny Clark is 29. He is set to turn 30 at some point before the end of the season. But that's what Rich Eisen kept repeating, that no matter what happened here, and we could get into a few more layers of that, and then get into our season predictions, which, by the way, we'll break up over a couple of shows here, that you just don't trade 26-year-olds of his elite premium status at an elite premium position in the league. Your response is what?
Who said that?
Rich Eisen.
Yeah, Rich Eisen. That's you that couldn't figure out the phone thing. Yeah, so it's good that, he's going back to ESPN before his stupid takes like this come on. Because people very much like Rich Eisen 30 years ago said, how could the Dallas Cowboys trade generational talent and Herschel Walker to the Vikings? How could that possibly be? And don't kid yourself. Herschel Walker, it's a long time ago. Some of you weren't born. Herschel Walker was seen as a bigger talent than Micah Parsons is today back then. Bigger talent. He was 2-sport athlete, phenomenal, right? How could you do this? This is the biggest, the uproar there and was louder now, and realized they didn't have social media. So anybody with a microphone and a camera could put in their 2 cents. So I would tell you this. The summarization is this. It's not trading. Kenny Clark is a +1 and 1, right? Little brand you get at Walmart and 1, right? They get 2 first-round draft picks and 1, a position of need for the Cowboys' interior defensive line. They also are now have the second most cap space in the National Football League. So they have a Pro Bowl player, 2 first-round draft picks. They freed up cap space, which Jerry Jones will use, and the second most cap space in the National Football League. They position themselves very nicely going forward. Again, Micah Parsons, I think he could have handled it differently. I think he could have handled it better. He was under contract, but he did phenomenal work for the Cowboys. He is an amazing talent, and I wish him well, but I am happy. Anybody go back a few weeks, go back last week. I've said it all along. The Cowboys got exactly what they needed and should have gotten for him.
Let me ask you a very simple question. Are the Dallas Cowboys in 2025 a better team right now with Kenny Clark on the team than they were last week with Micah Parsons on the team?
I don't think we have enough information to answer that question.
I think we have enough information. Now, I will say this. Is defensive tackle a need for the Cowboys? Obviously. Run stopping has been a problem, not just recently. It's been a problem for a long time for the Dallas Cowboys over the last pocket of modern time here. So they're reinvesting their resources, obviously, going one to the other. But if we're looking at where these guys are at in their respective careers, and quite frankly, just Kenny Clark has been among the top 10 defensive tackles his career that he's been in the league. Micah Parsons has been a little bit higher on his hog at his respective position over a much obviously a short period of time. So it's just because that's what Jerry said. So just to go what Jerry said, he said, "Dare I say," and sort of winked at the crowd. We're better than we are, which caused some interaction among the media in the press room when he said that, because it sort of seems a little crazy on the surface to trade, because like obviously by the trade, right? Micah Parsons is more valuable than Kenny Clark, or else you guys would have been sending the 2 first-round picks to them.
Sure. I'll give you this. The Cowboys would have been crippled, right? The with the salary they're already paying, that two of their players, that salary was beyond grasp. The ridiculous amount of money
of Lamb, Dak, and Micah, if the contract would have been through. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And get this, the Cowboys defense, you take Micah Parsons off the field last year, Cowboys in the top 3 in the NFL in sacks with Micah Parsons. Without him, they were still in the top 10, 11 teams in the NFL in sacks. So are they better? Time will tell. I think there'll be more ability to be a cohesive team. I think they will be better against the run. The pass is yet to see.
All right. What we're going to try to do here is, because obviously you see that me and Pop are on the screen together. We're using some of his computer technology here. So it looks like StreamYard sometimes has this problem where I can't post certain comments from destinations, but I am keeping track of it on my phone and also after. So don't worry. Any donations you guys give of super chats and memberships, I'm going to be keeping track of it old school right here on my notebook. So NC Green, I see you just gifted a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. So StreamYard eventually will catch up here and allow me to show stuff on the screen and things. So hopefully that's coming soon. But first, you just gifted a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships, and every time we get that, we get some of this.
Number 44.
Woo! 44, that's me!
Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts.
Woo! Give me some!
All right, Pop. Who are the 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club?
All right. Hey, now. All right. It's Emmanuel Holcomb, 6422 at D Van G. That's Tom Stokes, Ryder and Talons, PA. NY Jets FL 632 and DJ Dirty Coach.
Okay, I believe that's Cooch, but there you
No,
have
Cooch.
it,
That O is not an A.
That is not.
That's a dirty Cooch.
That's a very
clean
different
that up.
word.
Clean
that
that up.
is. So thank you, NC Green, for these 5 raffle tickets. We'll add those to your total. For those that are uninitiated, today and tomorrow, the last days for your raffle tickets for the month of August. And again, I'll make sure for our Boy Green Daily tomorrow, we'll have the prerequisite images to show you on screen. We'll have all that set up. This is my first day here, or hours here, because I just got here about 5 or 6 hours ago here to lovely Vermont that we're in, which is great. So thank you, everybody, for the support so far. And thank you, NC Green. Guys, make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe. At the start of business, I believe we were 72 subscribers away from 8,000. So, folks, make sure you guys join the army here. We'll talk a little bit more, and I see we have a member shout-out here from EZ. So, again, folks, apologize. I can't put some of this on the screen for now. Hopefully, StreamYard catches up here in Vermont where I can do that. Some of our comments are limited. But EZ, who's been a member for 13 months on the channel, said, Pops, I told you Micah was getting traded. Also, I'll highlight something earlier from NY Jets FL. Remember, maybe it was last year for NY Jets FL, we talked about all these Cowboys that are hanging in the balance. Dak, Lamb, Micah, was it possible? Was there a world, you were just talking about how cap hamstrung they possibly would have been if they did dole out the money for it. Was it possible to come together? And there was speculation of, okay, if you sort of had to power rank them. Now, I want to give the same context here. All of their contracts obviously didn't end at the same time. So the Cowboys didn't have the luxury of doing it this way, obviously. They had different contracts at different times. So it's not like they all were free agents in 2025 and the Cowboys could have better picked how they paid them. So take the context into it. But they were all talking about if anyone had to split off, and we were talking about that on the show, MC Show Digital Show yesterday live from the bar. Lurch said the number one of those 3 he would have paid is Micah over Dak or CeeDee Lamb. And I've heard some other people in the comment section, some suggest similar. Your thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, Mr. Lurch.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Whose team wouldn't even select Micah Parsons in the draft. So, pie hole, shut it.
Which, by the way, for folks who forgot that, the Giants held, I believe it was the 12th overall pick, it was 11, and then Cowboys got him with the next pick. They held the 11th overall pick and traded it to the Chicago Bears, who moved up for Justin Fields, baby. And then the Giants ended up with Kadarius Toney, who he won a couple of Super Bowls, but not with the Giants. And then the next pick, I believe at 12 was to your Dallas Cowboys, which ended up being Micah. So they did have a chance at Micah, but they puff past.
Yeah, and I think the Cowboys played with their food a little bit because I think they traded back to get Micah Parsons.
Oof.
As opposed to the Giants just let him roll on by. So the Cowboys tried to give him a gift. Anyways, I'll tell you this.
Yeah. Okay.
You take the NFL.
Sure.
There's a reason the rules are the way they are, right? So what is the top genre, the top payment for edge rushers? Micah Parsons was going to get it, right? $21 million, which is less than a linebacker, which is $24 million.
Wait,
right?
say that one more time?
For his contract.
Yep.
The contract he was currently playing on.
Oh, the fifth-year option.
The fifth-year option, right? It's all based on average salaries of the positional players.
Yep.
What I'm saying is an edge rusher for that fifth-year option, the calculation, beep, boop, bop, $21 million. The calculation for a linebacker, beep, boop, bop, $24 million. As a matter of fact, Micah Parsons filed a grievance because he felt he should have been at the $24 million range. However, it's all based on your third year of play where you played more at the edge or at the linebacker. And the NFL is the one that determined, not the Dallas Cowboys, that he was more of an edge rusher in year 3, which is what ties him to that salary of $21 million. I say all that to say this. There's a reason that right now, if you franchise tag the quarterback, the number would be whatever, at 40, 50, whatever $1 million it is.
Something I would imagine.
And there's a reason why if you franchise tag a wide receiver, it's going to be in the high 30s, right? If you franchise tag an edge rusher, it's not going to come anywhere close to that, right? The Cowboys paid the right people.
Yeah, the franchise tag, and by the way, these are for this season. Quarterback this year would have been $40.24 million, but again, with all the contract numbers, they obviously soup up from a year-to-year basis. So that number would have been much closer to $50 million coming up here in 2026. Not that that's relevant for this conversation, but just for that sake of the conversation. So the numbers do jump up significantly. You believe that they paid the right guy, and again, a real first world problem here. Here's the thing that is really good, and hopefully the Cowboys continue this for your sake, is they've been really good drafters. They are a team that's been able to draft, develop talent, and they've done that for a long time. So the Cowboys for these 2 first-round picks will have to see sort of what they go. Again, how it all links back to the New York Jets as you're watching a daily New York Jets show is the Jets play the Dallas Cowboys in Week 5, and I will tell you this with all of my chest. I am much happier facing against Kenny Clark than I am against Micah Parsons. Kenny Clark is a wonderful player, but I feel a lot better about the interior facing Micah Parsons than Armand Membu. And then I will never forget, I talked about it earlier this week. Me and my dad have seen a lot of cool NFL games together, and it's been a lot of fun, and more to see with the Jets-Cowboys game obviously coming up this season. We went to the Week 2 Jets-Cowboys game at AT&T Stadium. And the game happened, and the Garrett Wilson touchdown, I'll cherish and hold that forever, where he went 70 yards to the house, running the opposite way, and that was terrific. But for the most part, Micah Parsons made a tough day for Zach Wilson and company. Zach Wilson has good T-shirts. That was difficult to champion. And then after the game, Nathaniel Hackett, coordinators speak on Thursdays, and they only speak once a week. So you got to imagine it's pretty hard to, say fucked up things when you only talk once a week for like 8 minutes to the media. But Nathaniel Hackett found a way, and he went up to the podium and gave a whoo, and Micah Parsons got a little faster than I thought. And it just, all the times he put him on an island, I believe there was Dwayne Brown who was playing offensive tackle for the Jets, and he kept leaving him on an island, one-on-one. And Nathaniel Hackett's reasoning for that was he didn't anticipate Micah Parsons having that kind of impact and how fast he was. And long story short, fast forward to this Jets-Cowboys game coming up, I am thrilled that we face a lot of good defensive tackles on the Jets schedule in general. I'd much rather face that than an edge rushers coming around the bend. So thank the Lord above. And hey, man, that's a Packers problem, an NFC North problem now. So I just feel good as a Jets fan. Just want to get that out into the universe.
Yeah, we're still going to put edge rushers on the field, just so you know.
Well, I will say this. We'll see what the truth is, right? So Dallas Cowboys people tell me that one of the strongest units on their team is their pass rusher depth. Well, that's about to be tested because when Micah Parsons gets removed off the field, new guys have to step up. And now that teams aren't going to have to double and triple team Micah, that gets fairly spread out to the rest of the edge rushers. So we're going to prove and see really how good this depth chart is. Cowboys fans and Cowboys analysts have been telling me for the last couple of months.
Right. Well, it'll be good, but thumbs up on this, 2 thumbs up on this trade.
There you go. Well, make sure you definitely do. I don't know about that, but you can do a thumbs up for sure to the YouTube video, baby, which is just as close. Again, hopefully we'll have this technical mumbo jumbo figured out with StreamYard. It sometimes has this, and it's had this sometimes when I've been here with my pop. So normally it resets at some point, so it'll give me the latest comments. So right now I'm tracking everything on my phone to the side. And also, like I said, any memberships gifted or super chats, I will give special shout outs here on the show. So again, a shout out to EZ. Thank you for sending that in and being a member for 13 months. And also do shout out to NC Green, who sent along 5 Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Again, don't worry, I will keep track of that and add that to your raffle total as they exist. Pop, anything else on this Micah thing you need to get off your chest?
Nope. Again, I'm pleased with it. I wish him the best. I think the Cowboys got exactly fair value, market value for the trade. And I think time will tell who's right on the value of the trade and who's not right. But I think Micah Parsons does not walk on water, just so you know. And he's not anywhere close to the best defensive player in Cowboy history. Not even close.
Okay, so real quick, just because you continue to poke it. Among the best defensive players in football right now, is Micah Parsons in the top 3, top 5, top anything?
Top 5.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably put him number 1. Who would you put above him? Just random names or name.
Yeah, the guy from Cincinnati.
Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Myles Garrett.
Okay. Myles Garrett, I'd, for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. There you go. But we'll, like I said, we'll see what happens. Appreciate all the comments. And by the way, shout out college football, of course. Syracuse has their game day today here at noon. Texas, Ohio State, come on, baby. What a game. I wish I wasn't at the same time at Syracuse, to be honest, but so we'll have to employ what some people call a multiple television. So we'll have to sort of see what that looks like perhaps in a little bit as we're watching college football today. So I hope you guys all enjoy all the college football action happening on the program. And again, you guys can let Pop know how you feel about this Micah Parsons trade when we see him week 5, Sunday, October 5th, if you have anything you'd like to share with him as well. But Pop, this is sort of a unique weekend before the season because in the old days, this would have been a preseason weekend, the preseason finale. But now with how it's currently set up, well, actually, let's get one more in here. I see a super chat coming in from EZ. Pops was right about the 2 first-round picks for Micah. So again, I think an important note, I've been telling people this because let me tell you this, Pop, because I don't think I told you this to your face. I'm doing the you guys are going to get it on this channel, so it's coming eventually, Bucks Knocks. Not Hard Knocks, Bucks Knocks, because my oldest Wego high school football team are the Buccaneers. And just as I was heading in to go, we mic'd up the players, mic'd up coaches, and it's really cool. So it's going to take some time. Hopefully we're able to sort of accelerate the process because we want to get it out the content as soon as possible. But I get the alert that Micah Parsons was traded right as I'm walking into the facility. I'm like, son of a, well, like that's crazy, but put it in the pocket. I had no idea what they traded for. Pop, when I got out of there, I ended up doing like 5 or 6 hours of coverage, television coverage, all this other kinds of coverage of interviews. I received texts. I received phone calls. I received Facebook messages. I received Discord messages. And you people know out there who you are. How's your Pops doing? Is he okay? Like, that's the most calls or anything I've ever received for you. No health crisis, no family situation. No. Micah Parsons got traded, and they're all checking in on your well-being.
And I appreciate that. I have much love for the coffee club. And make sure you take that like button to Pound Town. And if you're one of we don't have an accurate number of people in the room because of the issues with StreamYard. But if you are watching and you are not a subscriber, let's do it. hit the like button, take it to Pound Town, subscribe. And I think we have one more thing to do before we go into our season predictions.
Well, actually, before we do that, I just want to see the only thing I can't see what our Facebook or Twitter numbers are. Again, sorry, we're in Vermont and technical difficulties here, but I see we have over 100 people in the room on YouTube, which is great, in the live chat. So thank you guys for being on there. I see that Indy Jet says 106 on YouTube. Thank you. We only have 40 likes. That math doesn't math. Even my father can get to that percentage, and that math doesn't math. So, guys, make sure you guys like the video. It seems like sort of an inconsequential thing to do, I'm sure. But, guys, doing that every single time, even as soon as you come into the room, make it a part of your routine. That's how this Jet show gets in front of other Jet fans that may have never seen it before. Every time you guys like the video, it helps the YouTube algorithm, for those who don't know, breaking the fourth wall and explaining how all that works. So, please make sure you like the video and get those flowing. Again, we have 104 people currently watching just on YouTube. We have a bunch more I see on Twitter and Facebook. But guys, if you're watching on YouTube, that's the optimal way. Make sure you guys like the video. Helps grow the show. But Pop, you say something else to get to before it, so please.
Yeah, I'm not up with all your fancy technology, but where's the banner we can show people?
Oh, yeah. So you're talking about this action?
No,
Okay.
the actual what you can.
Like
page.
how you're talking about the hop on pop
yeah.
thing? Okay,
Yeah.
well, we're going to have to figure that out on the side because of where we're at, yes.
I would like to thank everybody that has donated to the Hop on Pop 50-50 raffle for Wounded Warriors. I'm going to put up on the screen. I'm going to try to put up on the screen. All right. So here we are currently with the standings for the 50-50 raffle for the Wounded Warriors. And so Wounded Warriors is really out there helping take care of our veterans that came back, not the way they went in. And the raffle will be 50-50. 50% will go to the winner. 50% will go directly to the Wounded Warriors. Nothing for us. So that's where we are. We're at $666.78 so far. So I appreciate it. We're going to put the promo up in a minute to where you can send the money to either Venmo or PayPal. Again, all the money goes directly to Wounded Warriors, except for the 50% that goes to the winner. There will also be a prize pack for the number one contributor. It'll consist of a few autographed NFL items and maybe a Boy Green Hop on Pop autographed item. So there'll be more to come on that. So I'm going to add this to the stage right now.
There you go, Pop. You don't even need me anymore. You know how to press all these buttons. So sorry again, folks, for the technical difficulties. But I see that some of our numbers are coming back. So actually, I believe we're coming back here. So I see we have 310 people. So blessed be he. Thank you, gods. Don't smite me. It looks like some of our technology is returning. Hopefully that continues here. I think we're getting everybody now. So thank God. Okay, so I can put this aside for now. Yes, Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior Project 50-50 raffle, folks. This effort continues. We'll talk about this on the show today, and we'll talk about it on the show. What are we? We got 3 shows, Pop, Saturday, Sunday, Monday?
That's
together?
True.
Okay, so here it is, folks. For those who have not heard of it, and my Pop will explain it if he didn't just a second ago. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention while I was getting some of these graphics up on our other studio with our other producers off screen, making sure we could put all this together. Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior Project 50-50 raffle. As I did hear my Pop talking a little bit about it, that 50% of the proceeds goes to the winner of this contest. Raffle tickets are $1 a piece, people, just $1. I hope that if you are in the financial means to do so, again, not everyone is. Totally understand that only people that have the financial means to do so, please feel free to donate as much money as you'd like to this raffle. Again, the raffle tickets are $1 a piece. So if you just submit $1, you have a chance to win the entire prize pack. Obviously, the more raffle tickets you have, the better your chances are. And obviously, the more money that's going to charity, which is ultimately, obviously, the most important thing here. So 50% will go to the Wounded Warrior Project. 50% will go to the winner. We will draw this winner live at our Jets Cowboys tailgate on Sunday, October 5th. But you guys can submit your raffle tickets all the way through midnight of Saturday, October 4th. We will be together, of course, for the meet and greet the night before at Chef Kevin Gilbert's restaurant in Caldwell, New Jersey, the Cloverleaf Tavern. But yes, the top donor will receive a special prize pack my father continues to hint at. And the only way to submit raffle tickets for this, I want to make this as clear as possible, It is not with super chats. It is not with memberships. It is strictly on your screen right now. Venmo at Paul, Paul hyphen Esden, Esden. That's his Venmo handle. Or PayPal at HopOnPop22. Altogether, no spaces. HopOnPop22. That top right image, the shades, the beard, the spiky hair. That is the logo on both of those for the profile picture, so you'll know it's going to the right place. So please, if you can, donate. Pop. I know I get you to say this every time, so you're even refining your speech more and more about this, but there are people out there that really don't understand what the Wounded Warrior Project is about. It's sort of like when we go through some of these holidays and people are saying Happy Memorial Day, and I'm like, geez. So people don't really understand what some of these things mean. So please explain, and maybe that can pluck a few heartstrings and explain really the root of the Wounded Warrior Project and why it's such an important cause.
Yeah, we talked briefly about it, right? Veterans come back. There's gaps. The VA isn't going to take care of all their needs. This provides support, rehabilitation, modification to homes. Really helps the veterans when they come back. Helps them with prosthetics. I may say that name. Prosthetics. So it's really helping those that helped us, that keep us free. So absolutely, if you can donate. $1 is great. $10 is great. $100 is great, but please donate.
And Pop, did you already get a chance to put up your raffle and give an update on
I
all
did.
that?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So thank you for that, folks. Appreciate it. Again, that raffle is different than this raffle. I want to throw this up on the screen real quick. Any of your guys' super chats, super stickers, memberships, gifting can win you all of these prizes on the screen. And let's walk through them real quick. So if you guys spend any super chats today, super stickers, gift memberships, and if you don't know how to do that, a few people, by the way, have reached out and they don't know how to gift. If you're watching on YouTube, and that's the optimal way to watch a show, there's a little money sign on YouTube. You click that. All these options pop up, and you can do all kinds of things. Super chats, where you highlight a message. I'll pull some of them up from earlier if our technology. All right, sorry, folks, for the technical difficulties. We're back, baby. Hopefully that's even better for you guys. So, yes, Jack, that's probably true. Pops was pressing too many buttons and knocked us off. That's totally possible. Could have happened right there. And I'm glad we have our comments section once again working again. And let me just highlight this from earlier. So, EZ, I don't want to cheat you out of what happens here on the channel when we get a super chat.
Wow.
Thank you, EZ, our boy. And again, I'm keeping track of everything old school here, so we won't miss out on any of your action happening here on the program.
Yeah, well, before we move on,
okay.
The Cowboys are the winner
Yeah.
in the Micah Parsons trade. And for those that don't like it,
you can't handle the truth.
Okay, there you go. So, Easy, thank you so much for that super chat earlier. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you guys for the support. It allows us to do so much more with the show. So, thank you, Easy. Much appreciated. And let me see if I can. Okay, it doesn't look like I'll be able to pull up yours, NC Green. So my apologies for the memberships flowing, but I believe we have it fixed now. So any other memberships that get gifted and things of that nature, we'll have that all together. So thank you, everybody, as well. Okay, there's people back and forth. The Cowboys definitely lost that trade. The Cowboys won that trade. Okay, see, look, Dylan Terriman, another one of our Jets content creators, DT Jet says, not sure how the Cowboys won that trade, but happy that Pops is happy. And he is. And again, he said this before the trade happened. So this is not a copium, as they say out in the streets. This is something he asked the gods for. And, well, the gods delivered it. We'll see what that means for this upcoming football season. All right, we have 300 people in the room. I can now accurately say that. We have 300 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe wherever you are. And it's good to be back here. So thank you guys so much for all the support. So, Pop, we had to talk about the Micah Parsons thing, and that's out in the universe. And again, I'm sure that'll come back up when we get Jets Cowboys week, and we're doing our preview shows for that. But are you ready to get into the next element here?
Yep, let's go. We got to break down some games.
Actually, the only thing I just wanted to highlight is, Pop, we've selected who is going to be sitting next to you at the Jets-Cowboys game, which is great. So I wanted to give a special shout-out to this individual here on the show, Pop. So are you ready to find out who is the person that's going to be sitting next to you here? Here we go. It is none other than Shad Johnson, who is coming to sit with you at this tailgate. And we've talked before over email, and one of the things he's said before is that he's watched this show before with his dad, and there's just sort of a special feeling of getting to watch us do this. He was able to donate to the Wounded Warrior Project 50/50 raffle as part of it to secure the seat next to you. He already paid for the seat in general, but he went the extra step to make sure he could sit with you. He's flying all the way from California to see this Jets-Cowboys game, and he's been a big fan of the show, and he's looking forward to meeting all of us the night before too. So I want to give you a big shout out, Shad, and awesome that you're going to sit next to my Pop. You're going to be in the same row as me, Woody, and everybody else too. So you get to win from that perspective. So Shad, thank you so much, man, to fly all the way from California. And you've been talking about this for months of how excited you are. And again, that all the money goes to charity. So it's just, it was a perfect way, I think, Pop, to determine this, and it'll be really cool. A lot of you guys will also be sitting around Pop, so you guys will try to get that experience, even if you're not right next to him. But again, obviously, you'll be at the tailgate and the meet and greet the night before, which, by the way, we still have a few tickets left for that. So if you're interested, make sure you guys reach out. So anywho, yes, Pop, let's get into this schedule action here. How did you want to launch into it?
Yeah, we'll just go. You go first. I go first. I don't care. The first game up is Pittsburgh-Jets.
Okay. And again, we talked about this special week, Pop, of like next week is the season. So the season's upon us. So we're going to go through the Jet schedule, not in its full entirety, as you see part one on the screen. So you're going to go through a pack of games here, Pop, predict who that winner is, and I'll sort of keep track of it here on paper so we have it. And then at the end of it, obviously we'll finish with a singular record. So Pop, why don't you start us off here on Pittsburgh?
Yeah, so Pittsburgh, the first thing I like to do is go to the point spread for that game.
Yes, yeah. What is that right now?
The point spread currently is the current point spread is 2.5 points for Pittsburgh. The Jets
Steelers are 2.5.
Steelers are 2.5 point favorite
on the road. Wow.
Yeah. So disrespectful, right? That means there are 5.5 points. Really,
that
right?
would be another way. Yeah. For those who don't know, and I know a lot of people don't dabble in Vegas, so you may not know. On a neutral field, no point should be given, right? In a neutral situation, 0-0. But if a team is at home, they normally get a 2.5 to 3 point advantage on any Vegas line. So here, the Steelers are in New York. So in theory, the Jets should be getting the advantage if these two teams are considered the same. Obviously, Vegas does not. So you said 2.5, Pop?
2.5.
So obviously, if it was a Steelers home game, they'd be in a 5.5, 6 point range potentially for that. So obviously, they think the Steelers are the better team, obviously.
Yeah, and so I would tell you that it is perfect for the Jets on many levels that this is the first game of the Aaron Glenn dynasty. We'll call it a dynasty.
Wow. Okay. Right.
This is the perfect game, and I will tell you why.
Okay.
The Pittsburgh Steelers coach's name is
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. So Mike Tomlin is will go down in the Mount Rushmore of coaches, primarily for his regular season, never having a losing season in a historic fashion. So far, in a historic fashion. I'll tell you that this Pittsburgh team is built oddly.
Okay.
I would tell you that Mike Tomlin traditionally wants a team the way Aaron Glenn is building the Jets. Like traditionally, the strong defense, the running game, and that he got Aaron Rodgers, and DK Metcalf. That's very odd. It doesn't really gel with what the Mike Tomlin team normally looks like.
All right.
Here's what we know.
Okay.
Aaron I guess something. Aaron Rodgers has old balls.
All right, I'll take your word for it. But
he's going to be rusty. He's going to be crusty, and maybe 6, 8, 10 games into the season, he's going to be the Aaron Rodgers of old. Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe what we saw is what you get. So I think he's not going to know his teammates. I think the Jets have the opportunity for Aaron Glenn to establish the strong defense of the Jets in the running game, pounding it with Agent Zero. And I think there's not going to be that chemistry between DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers, which, by the way, could be problematic for people later on in the schedule when they get that chemistry. They get on the same page. All that being said, I think this is a win. First game, first win for Aaron Glenn. First game, first win. And I think it'll be close. I think it's going to be a 23-17 game Jets win.
Wow. Okay. We're even getting scores in there. I can appreciate that. So 23-17 win against the Steelers. All right. I would just say this, and I've said it for a while, that I truly believe as a Jets fan, and even if I was a neutral observer, which I guess I'm not, so I have to obviously lay out there. My nickname is Boy Green, after all. But I will tell you, if you could have told me, and I predicted it, me and Woody did the schedule prediction of where the games would be and when they would be, and I got the most games right that I've ever had. And I would tell you that if I could have handpicked where I played the Steelers, I would have picked Week 1, and I did pick Week 1. And the fact of the matter is Aaron Rodgers is going to be rusty. He didn't play. I don't know about crusty. I'll leave that for other people's interpretation. But he didn't play in the preseason. He showed up at mandatory minicamp, which was mid-June. He was dealing with other things, so I don't know what his shape is. But again, there's a difference between athletic shape and looking great with a beach bod and football shape. And to me, I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be rusty. I think there's going to take some time. Chemistry with teammates, as we saw with the Jets last year, is not a thing that just comes automatically. There are a lot of players that he's going to be working with, that he's working with for the first time. I imagine there's going to be rubs with Arthur Smith where things are not going to go quite well in terms of their marriage with one another. And while there are individual pieces that are very intriguing on the Steelers of Jonnu Smith, who have given the Jets problems in the past, Pat Freiermuth, go to their new running back combination. You have Caleb Johnson and Jalen Warren's terrific. DK Metcalf is one guy, but as we've seen, he is more sizzle than substance. He should be among the best receivers in football, but he hasn't proven to be that at the NFL level. And then on the defense, that's one of the things I want to get to is when you think of the Steelers defense, you think of a team that is supposed to be the steel curtain and this team that's really talented. But if you look at some of their numbers last year, and I have them in front of me, people talk about them much more than they are when you look at the statistics. Last season, they gave up 326 yards per game. That was outside of the top 10. This is a unit that can get got. I'm looking over here at a couple of their other statistics, whether it's the passing game where they allow 228 passing yards per game, and go to some of these other numbers. They did allow 20 points per game, which is a fine number here. That ranked, let me make sure I have this up here. That was a top 10 statistic for Pittsburgh. But I think the Steelers defense, especially with TJ Watt, who they just paid a lot of money, in his final 3 games of the season, Pop, do you know how many sacks he had?
TJ Watt?
Yeah.
Final 3 games?
Yeah.
0?
0 it was. So I'm not saying TJ Watt is whatever he is, but this is a guy that didn't finish very strong, and he's only getting older, and Father Time's undefeated. So, and I love that this Jets offensive line is going to be ready for this attack. I think 2 things are going to be critical to this game. Running the football, of course, obviously, and it's going to be strength on strength. The Steelers have been historically very good against the run, and the Jets plan on running the football. They were terrible as a running team last year, but there's a lot of newness here. And Nick Folk, this is going to be a field goal battle between Chris Boswell and Nick Folk. So I think Folk Hero here is going to be a very important piece to this puzzle. And to me, so many Jet fans have written this game off as an automatic loss. I don't see that at all. You want to talk about that with Buffalo, who's a more difficult opponent next week, which, again, we're going to get to in a Week 2 game. We can talk about their dominance, even though the Jets have had their fair share of success against the Bills over the last couple of years. But Pittsburgh is not this undefeatable opponent. They're not this invincible opponent. I think they're eminently winnable. And what better way to start the Aaron Glenn era than Week 1 against the ex-girlfriend he threw out of the house is coming back, and you're able to deliver that tone. Because let's be honest, Bob, we're going to be overacting to this game either way. If the Jets win, the hype is going to be insane. But if we lose and Aaron Rodgers comes in and he's doing his stupid smirk on the post-field access interview, there's going to be a lot of hellfire raining from the heavens on this one. So, yeah, I have a Jets victory here, and I think it's going to be a 17-14 victory for the New York Jets.
Yep, there you go. So both 1-1 there.
Okay, there you go. Let's go to our next opponent, Bob. After the Jets started with 2 games on the road last season, they start off with 2 home games this season.
2 home games, play the Buffalo Bills. This is a horse of a different color than against the Steelers. Josh Allen, generational talent, right? He reminds me of Dan Marino in that, any wide receiver, like we flashback a year ago, we're talking about Buffalo. You're like, who are these wide receivers? We went to 5 guys on the street that no one could name them. We went through this whole bit about how bad his wide receivers were. Mm-hmm. And then they gave away his best wide receiver. And then what did he do? He went out there, showed up, showed out, had one of the top offenses of the NFL, and won the MVP. So this is going to be a little, all credit where credit is due. The strength of New York Jets defense is in that secondary. Mm-hmm. It'll be challenged in this game. I don't think, if you remember, this is the second game last year where Aaron Rodgers got his note from his parents and went to, hey, Coach, Mom said I could sit out today. And then Tyrod Taylor showed up and showed out for the next few games, moving the Jets up and down the field.
2 drives, right?
Well, 2 drives. 2 drives, 2 scores. That's pretty good.
No, you said 2 games. I was just saying that he just came in for the end of the game.
Came in for the end of the game after Aaron, had his strained mangina.
For those who forgot, Aaron Rodgers went to Jeff Ulbrich in the middle of the game and said, hey, you think it's time to put Tyrod in there? And I tweeted out the clip. Aaron Rodgers initiated his own benching. What in the world? That's allowed? We're allowed to just go up to work, say, I think this, I'm sort of wrapped up here. Get your next guy. And that was sort of bizarre, but hey, So anywho, go ahead with your Jets Bills.
Yeah, so I think this will be a little too much. I don't think you talked about early in the season, the Jets defense of Week 2 will not be the Jets defense of Week 10. I think it'll be too much Buffalo Bills, too much Josh Allen for New York. And the Buffalo Bill defense is nothing to laugh at either, about the middle of the pack in defense. So I have this as I'm not going to do score predictions for all, but I have this as a Buffalo win. Okay, I'll give score predictions on the week before, but
okay, so we won't do that throughout. That's okay. So a loss against Buffalo. It's hard to deny a lot of what you said, although the Dan Marino one is a little bit interesting. But I would say, in general, Buffalo's won the division 5 years in a row. They're the cream of the crop. They're the tippy top. And I would say this is something Justin Fields talked about when he talked about his goals. He's not a guy that creates a lot of headlines. That's not the kind of player he is, which I'm sure will resonate with a lot of Jet fans after what we just had with Aaron Rodgers last year. And he said one of his goals is to win the division. And what you do, what I hear, because I've never been there, but when you go to prison, you got to find the biggest bully in the yard and punch him in the face. Well, the bully that's been slapping you around for the last 5 years is the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Jets have held their own. They've played 6 times over the last 3 years. The Jets have won 2 of those 6. So they're almost at even Steven, and their quarterback play has sucked. It's been awful. So now, if you think that you're getting an upgrade here with Justin Fields over the Zach Wilsons and all this other crap that you've had for the last couple of years, if you're a Jets fan, what you want to hope for against Buffalo is a split, and hopefully it's home and home. I think that's your best case scenario, unless there's some resting of starters or something at the end of the season. I think that's your best hope if anything's going to happen for your way based on how Buffalo's played. Their roster's loaded. They're a Super Bowl contender. Josh Allen's a reigning MVP. While they may not have that true alpha wide receiver one, Khalil Shakir is really talented. James Cook, he's going to have natural touchdown regression. He had 18 touchdowns last year, so he's not going to score nearly as much as he did, but he's a very good running back, and they have him under contract. And you look at that defense, too. They've got a lot of pieces that could cause problems. Now, if I'm the Jets, I'm going after that secondary. Christian Benford's hurt. Tre'Davious White is hurt with a indeterminate amount of time of when he's supposed to return. So that could be – because here's what's going to happen. I didn't talk about this for week one, but it's going to be the thing. If I'm a defense, I am doing this same strategy every week. Garrett Wilson's getting doubled, and everyone else is in the box. And I'm going to dare Justin Fields and the Jets to beat me any other way. And until Justin Fields proves he can consistently do that, the Jets are going to be in a lot of trouble on offense because they don't have a Robin to Garrett Wilson's Batman. Maybe that'll be Mason Taylor. Maybe that'll be Breece Hall to the backfield. But a true wide receiver opposite of him is not there consistently. So long story short here, this is an incredibly difficult challenge against the Buffalo Bills, but I see the Jets splitting with them, and the more likely split is the home victory over the Buffalo Bills. So I will start with a 2-0 start, and the Jets beat the Buffalo Bills 24-23.
Yeah, let me clarify, because of your unique response. I'm not saying that Josh Allen and Dan Marino are similar quarterbacks. I'm saying they were able to get it done with no-name receivers. That was my parallel. Right. Josh Allen stylistically, I'm not saying the same, but they both got it done. The only reason anybody knows Dan Marino's wide receivers, super duper, and Clayton, right, is because Dan Marino was just that good, right? They weren't good before or after. It was not a.
I appreciate the clarity because I thought you were referencing velocity or arm angle or QB style or stuff like that.
Yeah, Dan Marino wasn't running down the field trucking people.
Definitely not.
Right.
No,
So,
I don't remember that happening.
He was too busy putting on his isotoner gloves.
Which again, I could have missed that tape. That was not featured on Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. So, but okay, that's again, I appreciate that clarity. So. Again, the Jets start off this season with 2 home games after last season started with 2 road games. Now we got back-to-back road games. The Jets are visiting the beautiful state of Florida. Week 3 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game in Tampa, obviously. And then week 4 is the Monday Night Football game against the Miami Dolphins. That one also will be in Florida. So, Pop, let's go to week 3 here. I'll jump on that one first and say I think people – completely disrespect Tampa Bay and Jet schedule evaluation, just Tampa Bay in general. They're the only team, shout out to the Jets for this stat, they're the only team in the NFC that's been to the playoffs in 5 straight years. Not the Eagles, not the Packers, not the whatever team. Tampa Bay is the only team that's been able to do that. Todd Bowles is a really good defensive mind. Now, as a head coach, he's had all these division titles and winning seasons with Tampa Bay, so obviously he's cracked some sort of code there. Baker Mayfield's coming off a 4,540-plus touchdown season. I think this is where the Jets draw their first blood of the season. I think the weather is going to be a factor here at a 1 o'clock Tampa Bay game with the heat of Florida. Traveling down for the first road game is going to be a challenge. This Tampa Bay team is good. Todd Bowles is not afraid to blitz and throw the kitchen sink at a kid like Justin Fields. I'll be curious how he responds to that sort of action. But I think the heat, I think Todd Bowles, I think the Baker Mayfield led offense there. They got our boy Sean Tucker out of Syracuse in the backfield as one of those key pieces, along with obviously Bucky Irving, who's coming off a wonderful season. Emeka Ibuka is going to be a disgusting rookie with Mike Evans. Chris Godwin will not be available for this game. So I think the Bucs are going to overwhelm the Jets. Unfortunately, that's their first loss of the season.
Yeah, Todd Bowles. He's a good coach.
Sure. He has been for Tampa Bay, winning a couple of NFC South crowns, some playoffs.
Was he a head coach before?
He was. Yeah, there was for the New York Jets. He led us to our last winning season in 2015, 10-6. Yes.
Oh, and then we dumped.
Yeah, and then that didn't happen. We
All right.
actually didn't make the playoffs in that one. So,
Anywho, so I agree on most of those fronts. Tampa Bay was in the top 5 in all offensive categories, which is pretty unusual. Normally, you're like they're the number 1 passing team and they suck at running, or they were in the top 5 in passing, rushing, and scoring. That's going to be a steep test for this Jets defense, as well as the fact that their strength of the Tampa Bay defense is the rush, which is what the Jets are going to want to do. Their passing defense was among the worst in the league. So if the Jets have an opportunity or a chance to win this game, it's going to be Justin Fields throwing the ball down the field, stretching the field with some of these, some of their wide receivers.
jabronis.
Some of the jabroni wide receivers. So I also think this will be a loss for those reasons.
All right, there you go. For the first 3 weeks of the season, my pop has the Jets at 1-2. I have them at 2-1, which would be a wonderful start to the season for the Jets. Again, this Bucs team is just really good. There's just no other way to put it. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. The thing that will be interesting, no one's talking about this, is Liam Cohen is not there. So they have a new offensive coordinator who I believe was on the staff previously. So what's going to be the vibe? Is there anything going on there? Again, they will not have Chris Godwin. They will not have Tristan Wirfs. He's going to be out for this game as well. They will not have Jalen McMillan. So we already know a couple of the key injuries for Tampa Bay that won't be there. But they are just loaded, even without some of those players that are clearly, obviously on the roster here. If I'm the Jets, I'm targeting the Tristan Wirfs absence on the offensive line and trying to overwhelm Tampa Bay. But I think that'll be easier said than done. Let's go to week 4, and maybe we'll wrap up here with kind of a quarter of the Jets games in terms of 4 games. They stay in Florida, week 4, Monday Night Football game. It's been a long time since the Jets, I believe 2008 was their last one where they had a Monday Night Football game in Miami in this kind of condition early in the season. So it's the Miami Dolphins. I think, to be honest, it's the most winnable game of the Jets 4-pack that they're starting the season with. And this is their toughest stretch of the season. When you look at like this first sort of 6-pack, maybe you can even extend it a little further if you want. But like this first sort of 6-pack is the toughest stretch of the New York Jets schedule.
Yeah, I'm with you. And hopefully the Jets take this opportunity. And maybe you know this, I don't know this. But I don't leave Florida for this game.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. A great question. We do not know what the Jets' philosophy are on this. That obviously hasn't come up yet in the pressers.
You wrap up the game. It's a 1:00 game against Tampa Bay. Correct. You wrap it up at 1. You pack up. You have all the post-game bull crap. Now it's 7 or 8 o'clock at night. You're going to take that 3 or 4 hour flight, get there early Monday morning back to New York to turn around and come back. I think there's an opportunity here for the Jets to stay in Florida, save that time, that practice time. I agree that this is one of the most winnable games. I think, they'll be staying down there. You're going to get acclimated. It is the end of September, so it's not, the first week of September in Miami is no bueno. Not that the end of September is going to be much cooler. But I say you stay down there, get acclimated to the weather, rent out some college practice facility, whatever the case is. I think there's an opportunity there. 100% winnable game. Probably the most bipolar team in the NFL is the Miami Dolphins, right? Are they good? Are they bad? Is Tua, is he going to crack like an eggshell? I just think that this is 100% the most winnable game in the first 4 for the Jets, and this is a 100% a win for me.
All right, let's go to this, Pop, because I'm sure everyone's asking about it. This is the first time I put on this hat, which was like an hour ago, because you gave it to me, and thank you for this sweet hat. Can you explain? Brian Farrell's like, what kind of hats are these? He thinks those hats are dope, as the kids say. What are these?
Yeah, so you're going to have to help me out. So we were running a clip of one of the Jets rookies, I believe. One of the Jets offensive linemen?
Yes.
Well, the Jets offensive lineman, he was doing an interview of these hats. He showed a clip on Boy Green Daily on a Saturday in the Hop on Pop show. I saw the hat. I looked it up. PJ Boy Green gave me the link. We bought these hats. I just don't remember what player that was.
So 2 things. I want to give a shout out if he's still in the chat. Dylan Terriman is the one who was able to send this clip over live during the show that we sent it over. It's the Wisconsin Waterfall. Joe Tippmann, of course, baby, was wearing these cool hats. So here's a closer look at it so you guys can see it. It looks pretty sweet. And yes, again, back in just to go on this weird detour, and then we'll give our Miami Dolphins conversation, is back in the day, I used to be a flat brim guy in high school. I thought it was super cool, but I'm going to be honest, I'm old now. So I'm doing my best. I just got this hat. It's brand new from my pop, obviously. So I'm trying to work it. I prefer I've got my Jets hat over there, and I'll show you that's, the cone of silence, actually. I prefer those hats now. I'm not really a flat brim kind of guy anymore, but hey, to each their own. But yeah, feel free. These are pretty sweet. So, obviously it's a tip of the cap to the Jet. There's like a Jet logo here and, like an N on top. I don't know what the brand is or anything of that nature outside of whatever I showed Pop all that action. But yeah, I think the hats are pretty cool. So shout out there. Guys, keep the comments flowing. Appreciate you. Again, the math isn't mathing. We have over 100 people in here, but only 70 likes. So people, make sure you guys like the video, please, and show your support. Get this in front of other Jet fans. So yeah, let's wrap up here with this final part of the 4-pack here, Pop. It is that Miami Dolphins game. Would you like to predict this one first, or want me to go?
I just kind of broke it down, and I predicted it as a win for the Jets.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. All right. So you have them 2-2. Beautiful. All right. Excellent. Yeah, like I said, I think this is the most winnable game. I was at the live fantasy draft yesterday at the bar. You guys may have seen the Smoky Bone show that we did, which was a lot of fun. And I finished that draft and hopped in the car and hopped over here. Got here at like 1:32, 2 a.m. Here this morning. And there was a Dolphins fan, unfortunately. He was wearing a Jake Long jersey, which I respected. He was sitting with me. That's how the tables broke up. And he was talking about Zach Wilson being crowned the QB2. And Tua's had one fully healthy season of his career, and it was right before he got paid. So it's inevitable the Zach Wilson show is coming at some point, and oh boy, we're going to see the truth, right? Because everyone says, it's the Jets. Zach Wilson's with this offensive mastermind and Mike McDaniel. Is he going to crack some code and Zach Wilson's going to go crazy on us? Or is Zach Wilson Zach Wilson? So I think we are going to see some of that as well. You did mention it, Pop, that it is a little topsy-turvy here, this Dolphins team. Jekyll and Hyde, you're not really sure which one you're going to get because the Tyreek Hills and Jalen Waddles of the world are very scary. They toasted DJ Reed when the Jets and Dolphins have played before a few times. DJ Reed, of course, no longer on this team. But you look at some of that action that happens on the show, Pop, and this is a team that sometimes can get got by the Mike McDaniels of the world. But then you go to some of their defensive woes, too. They've got talented players, but they've lost a lot this offseason. Javon Holland is no longer there in that back end of the secondary. Their quarterback room is destroyed. They traded away Jalen Ramsey. And talk about teams who have had injuries, like knock on wood here. Talk about the Dolphins. Good Lord have mercy. And they don't have Jonnu Smith that caused us all kinds of issues before, so I love that for him. They have the ghost of Darren Waller that's playing tight end for him, Pop. So to me, that part opens it up where it's going to be a massive win for the New York Jets in prime time. A 3-1 start to the season, baby. Woo!
Yeah, I would just say that, you touched on it. I did not. But, don't sleep on this. The Miami Dolphins have what I would say is probably in the top 5 wide receiver 1 and 2 tandems in the league.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you have to give respect. Yes.
And so that's going to be the real test. The good news is it's testing the Jets' strength. So that there is the good news. Our secondary is our strength. A little cooking with Crisco or Cisco, if you will. The quarterbacks. So, but yeah, we don't want to sleep on him because he could get burned.
As we saw in the Giants game, in a preseason game, Andre Cisco guessed wrong. He thought he was going for, which again, for people who don't know Andre Cisco, obviously I've been pounding the chest about Andre Cisco all offseason before the Jets signed him, as they signed him and everything. Andre Cisco has a lot of picks in his career. He had a lot of picks in college. He's had a lot of picks in the pros. But when you have someone like that, sometimes he risks it to get the biscuit. That happened to the Giants game. He's like, whoo, interception. Oh, geez. Oh, God. And he over pursues. He gets aggressive. You could get him on a bait and switch play. So Andre's really good. A center fielder. I think he was the perfect fit for this defense. That's why I said it a bunch of months ago. But sometimes he could get got. So on a team with the explosiveness, big arm of Tua and you have all this with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, that could just be a dangerous combination.
Yeah, I mean, right. You got two kinds of defensive backs. One that gives a 30-yard cushion, right,
Yeah.
and gives up the 10-yard reception every time. And the other one is the guy that's up on the line, punching in the face. He wants the ball. That ball, it's not your ball, right? That ball is whoever goes and gets it.
Sure.
And that's who Cisco is.
By the way, I see we have some membership action happening here on the program. And again, guys, don't worry about the scrolling ticker that's down below. I will update that in due time. But I see our boy Philly Noodles gifted a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. All right, with the first overall pick in the Boy Green membership channel, Pop, who got this membership here?
Wait 1 second, please.
Okay, sure.
I'm going to go back. It's Brian Turner, 21.
All right, salute to Brian Turner, 21. Thanks for being a Boy Green Coffee Club member, and shout out specifically to Philly Noodles. Again, I will be updating the scrolling ticker and everything after the fact. I'm keeping track of everything old school, so don't worry. We have that in here. Also, I want to give a special shout out to the members of the Boy Green Discord. Shout out to NC Green. He said, my tea time is calling. So, NC Green, thanks for the memberships earlier, buddy, and thanks for tuning in before your golf lesson or golf action happening here. I want to give a shout out to our Boy Green Discord because I know we got our first fantasy draft tonight at 8 o'clock. And we'll have our second fantasy draft tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So we're working in with all the stuff we're doing here in Vermont. I'm sure my dad will give me great advice on picks I should and shouldn't be making. So we'll be doing some of that. So shout out to the Discord. It's our first year ever doing the Boy Green Fantasy Football Leagues. For those that expressed interest over email, I responded to all of you. So hopefully if you haven't already, you guys can get back to me and I'll try to keep you posted. If any openings are open for any of the leagues, I'll try to let you guys know if spots continue to open up from that perspective. But appreciate all you guys that reach out. We had several people reach out, and thank you for your interest in potentially joining one of our Boy Green fantasy football leagues. My pop is in one of those drafts. That'll be happening. I can't remember if he's in the one. He is in the one tonight. That's the 8 o'clock one because he's like, how did I get in the second league, not the first one? Not that we're comparing. It's not a pissing contest. Both are equally important, obviously. So my pop will be in the one tonight, and I'll have to give him some of those elbows in the middle of the draft to make sure he doesn't snipe me. So we'll have some of that happening as well. So booyah.
Booyah. So you have them at 3-1. I have them at 2-2.
Yes.
We'll pick this up tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. So folks, we had to get the Parsons action in for obvious reasons, obviously here on the show. But what we are also going to be doing over the next couple of days in this very weird bye-week pocket before we get to Steelers, and I'm going to give you plenty, guys, of Steelers coverage. I promise. I'm going to book it with Alex Kozora, my main squeeze from Steelers Depot, talking all things Pittsburgh. He'll be joining us. We'll also have coverage, of course, with James Woody for Boy Green Meets Woody on Tuesday and Thursday. That'll be coming up as well. And I saw someone bring this up earlier, so I just want to make sure we highlight it here. Havmo63 says, prediction, BG and Pops are going out for breakfast. We're going for breakfast, but not out. Like we're brothers, my wonderful mother and his beautiful wife will be, she's cooking breakfast actually as we speak. I can smell it. The smells are coming down here like in the Alice in Wonderland and I'm going to just be floating over there with the wonderful food I can smell. So shout out to Mom who's here making wonderful food. So no, breakfast prediction correct. The travel just upstairs. So that's the going out for breakfast. So that counts from going downstairs to upstairs. Then yes, guilty as charged.
That's right. So we got coming up more football predictions. And on Monday, we're going to draw the raffle winner here live.
Correct. That's
live from Vermont.
That is a good point. So, yes, folks, make sure you continue to get your raffle tickets in today, tomorrow. Sorry, the phone lines won't be open today, folks, because of we're jumping up for breakfast. Correct, Bob?
That's correct.
Okay. So I just want to confirm that. So, folks, we will be opening up the phone lines and doing all that jazz tomorrow. NFL insider Matt Lombardo set to join us, so my pop can pepper him with questions, I'm sure, about the Micah Parsons action and anything else that could be popping up. So we will have Matt Lombardo on the program tomorrow. Nick Faria will join us on Monday at 8 o'clock, so we'll have a chance to do our raffle and fun stuff on there, and then we'll get the beat reporter perspective to officially kick off Jets Steelers week on Labor Day. I'll confirm and make sure for the holiday that Nick is still good to join us. But thank you, everybody, for joining us. And yes, yes, Hep, Syracuse football is on today. It's at noon against top 25 ranked Tennessee, the Volunteers. If you guys did not see it, I highly recommend going to the @MC Show Digital YouTube channel. We have a direct link. I got to talk to Jason Swain. He's one of the most accomplished receivers in Tennessee football history. It was a fun preview show. He was a lot of fun, and we'll do some more Syracuse coverage. So if you guys are an absent college football team fan, you're like, I don't know who to root for, then jump on the Syracuse train because we'll be doing coverage of them every single week at MC Show Digital on a preview show where I bring on a coach from their team or an insider or what have you, and we'll be breaking it all down. So Syracuse football at noon, and so is, come on, Texas, Ohio State, baby. That's another one at noon, so that should be absolutely great. Alon Sancuse is going to get smoked. Come on, Alon. What's going on here? Let's see what's going to happen. Let's enjoy some of that action happening here. And yes, for those that are asking, 100%, I do previews, and Jason Swain, that interview is in there. You guys can see the Syracuse-Tennessee preview if you guys would like to jump on that. That game will be on at noon. Any final thoughts, Pop?
Alon saying controversial things. Is that what you just said?
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah. No. Look forward to it. Enjoy the day, people. We'll see you tomorrow. And let's go, Jets.
There you go. Jets, 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 Jets. We'll continue our season prediction. And by the time we depart, we will have the full season prediction out. And then obviously on Monday, we'll fully turn the page to Jets Steelers week and keep you guys updated with all the latest with injuries, insights, analysis. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So guys, thank you so much. One final reminder to like the video, hit subscribe. Shout out to our audio-only listeners that prefer not to look at my face. I totally understand that perspective. But for those who have chosen it, thank you, and you're welcome. So thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow morning for Boy Green Daily. Take care.